As a servant, I have a role to play. I'm perhaps an office bearer in the organization or whatever. I have to do my duties. I say, he has done it, let us follow it systematically. But then when you sit down and you sing, at that point it doesn't matter who you are, what position you hold, whether you're CEO or a president or it doesn't matter. At that point, you become a devotee, he becomes God. You lose yourself in that relationship. And if you continue in this path, then at points you will begin to understand in your deep meditation that you and God are finally one. All of these, Baba said, are the expressions of that same getting oneness, the experience of that oneness in different form. So we don't have to hold ourselves in that so-called state of Atmic oneness all the time. We can still be extremely functional in the world in a different relationship. It is the same person playing a different role. The same divine principle becomes your master. The same divine principle becomes the God of your choice. The same divine principle becomes a reflection of your inner divinity. There was a point when I was, when I said earlier, it was curiosity led me to admiration. Admiration slowly became devotion. I don't know when it happened. I don't know how exactly it happened, but it happened. Watching him, building that relationship, slowly conversing with him within and without, that samipya began to establish itself strongly. And rather sarupya, the name and form, became the name and form of my choice. I just fell in love with Swami. The devotion took over. And there was a time in the early years that Baba would encourage me, because I think I needed at that point. So he would allow me to take pictures. I had got a camera for myself and I would take all kinds of pictures of Swami everywhere, wherever he was, of his feet, of his hands. Every time I would think what mudra he's doing, let me get them all in record. And so I was trying to take as many pictures, and Baba would smile, encourage me. Even he would give me even camera rolls like he did for so many other boys. He would just throw rolls so that we could take more and more pictures. And I became obsessed literally with the name and form of Swami. I had actually learned to memorize him. When I say memorize him, literally I mean I would memorize exactly how that fold goes, what was the shade in that fold of the robe, and then the next day morning in my meditation I'll bring that to my memory. So I got to perfect my name and form to the point that I could recollect him very, very vividly. And it helped me in my meditation. It became more and more real, the name and form. And the more I meditated, the more I felt Swami was talking to me and engaging in that conversation. And it became so surreal. But then there comes a time when the caterpillar ends and the butterfly has to come out. You can't remain a caterpillar all the time. And this is the beauty of Swami being the Sadguru. He makes you lean on him, depend on him, pray to him, build a relation, and then finally he again pushes you back to the source, very source, what you're actually searching for. What I'm going to share with you is a very personal experience, but I think it's important that you know that this is why I so strongly believe in this path of spirituality. This is not a concept to me anymore. This never has been for a long, long time. The idea of experiencing divinity, experiencing God is real and is open for all of us. And I think this is what Swami wants us to do in our lives. And live in that awareness. Once you've tasted the highest, that charges you and changes your perspectives in life. So there was this time in the mid-80s where I was so attached to Swami's form, I would memorize his form. The night before, when we would sing bhajans, I would be on the second row so I could get to see him sitting on the chair. And the 15 odd minutes that he sat on the chair, I would memorize him. I would say, tomorrow morning I have to see this again in my meditation. And the next day morning I would say, what exactly was Swami doing? How was his feet placed? Every single aspect of it, as detailed as I could go. While that was going on, there was a deeper yearning of becoming closer and closer to that form that began to build up. By this time I was out of Swami's room, I was not in Swami's room as on a day-to-day basis, but occasionally, of course, many occasions he would call for work and things like that. So this yearning to get closer to Swami increased. I wasn't sure what exactly I was asking for. So I kept writing to Swami, Swami, I want you, I want you, I want you. In spite of him talking to me and giving me all the other chances, there was a deeper yearning. I wasn't able to place my finger. What do I wasn't myself sure what do I mean by I want Swami. But I said, this is the only person I can ask. I want more of this form. Is it form I wanted? Is it what? I don't know. But I wanted to experience it more. The Samipya begins to increase a thirst. Almost like an obsession, if you will. And so I kept writing to Swami. Every day, every 2 days I would write a letter. And we had the privilege as students, we could go right up to the door. We don't have to wait for darshan. We would go right up to the door and say, can you please give this letter to Swami? And they would go ask Swami's permission, come down and say, okay, take it. And every day when I would give, Swami would accept the letter. And